Hi, this is Rob Nelson with Tapping the Matrix Academy, and this video is on helping feelings of self-loathing, self-hatred, unworthiness, feelings of not deserving. And I'm going to be presenting this video as a tap-along. It's really intended for EFT practitioners who might want to add some concepts or skill sets to your tool chest. If you are watching this because you yourself are feeling these negative feelings, let me just ask you, feel free to tap along, but do take care of yourself. If by the end of the video you're still feeling activated, still feeling really upset, you could watch the video again, tap through the video again. You could do that 2 or 3 times. The idea is to get the emotional intensity down on these things, and if that still doesn't work, let me just ask you to find a good EFT practitioner to work with. You know, EFT is a fantastic self-help tool, but it's almost always even more powerful and profound to work with a good practitioner. All right, so that said, I'm gonna go ahead and do a tap-along video. Now, in my academy, we're old school and we use some points down on the lower ribs. I'm just gonna stand up and demonstrate that for you. They're right here. So if you have breasts, it'd be right below your breasts. Very important point. This is the liver point, liver points. So I'm going to go ahead and be using those points in our tap along. All right. So if you are tapping along for your own benefit right now, let me ask you to measure your intensity level on a 0 to 10 scale, where 10 is the worst. And again, we're looking at feelings of self-loathing, self-disgust, self-hatred, feelings of unworthiness, feelings of not deserving anything good. All right, so let me just get set here. And so even though I have these intense feelings of self-hatred, self-disgust, unworthiness, I choose to love and accept myself as best I can, which may not really be that much. I don't feel like I deserve love. I don't deserve to accept myself. I'm disgusting. I'm horrible. And honestly, it would be wrong to feel good about myself. All the self-disgust, all the self-loathing, and down on the liver point, all this disgust and self-loathing. I really hate myself. And the funny thing is, I haven't done anything that bad. The intensity I'm feeling, this self-hatred, I really should have done something horrible, like kick a puppy, push over an old lady, throw a brick through a stained glass window. But I haven't really done anything terrible, at least lately. And down on the liver point again. I know I'm not perfect, but I feel disgusting. I don't deserve to be happy. Even if this tapping could work for someone else, it can't work for me. It won't work for me. It wouldn't be right for me to feel okay. And pretty much, I suck. Even if I'm not completely sure why. All this self-loathing, this disgust with myself, this self-hatred. When I was little, when I was just a very young child, my parents weren't always that great. They might have been cross with me or angry with me, or they might have just given me the cold shoulder. They might have been harsh with me. Or even if they were just harsh with each other, I knew that this was my fault. If my mom got drunk, it was my fault. If my dad hit me or hit my mom, it had to be my fault. Because this is what all kids decide. If it was my fault, I had some illusion of control. If there was something wrong with me, something bad about me, well, then there's hope. Maybe I could fix it. If I could just figure out what's wrong with me, maybe I could fix it and my mom and dad would like me. Or they'd start being nice to each other. Maybe we could have a happy family. If it wasn't my fault, well, then there's nothing I could do. If it wasn't my fault, that meant mom and dad were wrong. And that's the most terrifying thing in the world to a little kid. For a very young child, mom and dad are the world. And if they're messed up, it's too terrifying. So whatever was wrong when I was a little kid, it had to be my fault. That was my only hope. If I wasn't getting loved, I must not have deserved love. That had to be true. Or else it was hopeless. If mom and dad were mean to me, well, I had to deserve it. Otherwise, there was nothing I could possibly change. And that meant I'd be entirely powerless. I was a really smart kid, but that was a really dumb decision. It wasn't my fault. It was never my fault. Whatever bad thing was happening, however mom and dad were messing up, there was something wrong with them. Probably whatever was wrong with them was wrong with them before I was even born. It may have been something that happened to them when they were a little kid. The reality is, it wasn't my fault. And it wasn't my job to fix. But I've been living with this idea my whole life. There's something wrong with me. Something that makes me bad, unworthy, unlovable. I've known that this was true. And all my life I've been looking for evidence that it's true. And finding it. The problem is it isn't true. There's absolutely nothing I need to do or change to be lovable, to be worthy, to deserve healing and good things in my life. And I forgive myself for ever thinking otherwise. This wrong belief that something's wrong with me. Maybe I never really knew what it was, or maybe I thought it was some particular thing. I'm not smart enough. I'm too fat. I'm too slow. Whatever. That wasn't true. My parent might even have told me this was true. And they were lying. There's nothing I need to do to be lovable. There's really only one thing wrong with me. That's the idea that something is wrong with me. That is a problem. But it's just an idea I have. I choose to change that idea as gracefully as I can. Okay, nice deep breath. So again, if you're watching this because you have had really intense feelings of self-hatred, self-loathing, unworthiness, I'd like to ask you to check your intensity level right now. See if the intensity has come down. If it's not even close to zero, you might want to just go through the round of tapping again. Do it 2 or 3 times. Or again, if this isn't helping at all, it's really activated your feelings, find a practitioner to work with. My Tapping the Matrix Academy website has a wonderful practitioner directory. You can check that out if you like. So again, this is Rob Nelson, Director of Tapping the Matrix Academy. Thanks very much for watching, and okay, bye.